Hello subscribers, this is yours truly JBlue68. Today is the final Wednesday of comic book, or final comic book Wednesday, I should say, of February. This is the last week of the month of February, and I'm so glad this month is over with. February is not one of my favorite months of the year, neither is March, but there's been some very cool things that have happened in February, and some very cool things that will be happening in March as well, including C2E2, which is the Chicago Comic-Con, which is where I will be headed in the next 48 hours. Before we get into this video, though, I want to say that this video is not intended for children. This is for adults only, and thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you can get more videos like this as I post them immediately. Well, as I mentioned, this is the final comic book Wednesday of the month of February, and this is going to be my final comic book video for Black History Month. I mean, I might slip some other things in, but excuse me, for the most part, this will be my last video for Black History Month, which is in February. And I was wondering what I would, post. I really had no idea. I have so many different things I could do for Black History Month, but of late I've been very busy, which has made me very fatigued, very tired. So I had to come up with something quick, and what better than to do a story based off of the Sam Wilson character, also known as the Falcon. And this was a very, very good series. Take Flight Part 1 is a 8-part series which consists of the Falcon. It also consists of the Iron Patriot, Misty Knight, and a special appearance by Dr. Voodoo and Blade. Very good series, as I just said. This came out about 2 years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago. And it was a short series, but again, it was a very good read. And as you probably know and have seen, we're on the precipice of the Disney Plus Falcon Winter Soldier series, which has nothing to do with this comic book series here. But I'm just going to show the covers and talk briefly about the story as it deals with the coming of vampires in Manhattan, I believe it is. And this is cover number 1, as you see, very nice there. All right. I got a little note here, little notes I put on the book. This features Dr. Voodoo and a couple of vampire creatures coming along there. And there's the Iron Patriot, as I mentioned. I didn't really like the new outfit that they made for Sam Wilson. I didn't like it at all. But again, the story is definitely worth reading. And more than likely, it's in trade paperback now. I think it is anyway. Here's book number 3. You are under arrest. Sam Wilson ends up being arrested for a crime that he didn't commit. He's framed by the mayor of the city, who actually is working in cohesion with the vampires. And of course, with the vampires brings along one of our most favorite characters in the Marvel lore, and that is Blade. He comes along at a later point in time. Here's book number 4. Again, I put little notes on here, my own personal little notes. This says, important statement made by Dr. Voodoo about ethnic identity. Compelling images of hell, features a drawing of a member of the KKK burning in hell. And there's Mephisto right there, who's also featured in the story. Just lift that up just a little bit so you can see him. And the artwork on the cover art is very nice. The page art is good too, but we're not going to get into the page art right now. I want to try to make this video as short as possible because this is the morning of comic book day and I'm on my way to work shortly. All right. And here is the Falcon actually battling one of the vampires. He has a chain around his neck or something on a rooftop. That is a very nice drawing. Very nice. I love the artwork. This is written by Barnes, Cassara, and Rosenberg. are all contributors to this story. This is part 5 of 8. And moving on here. Oh, on the back here is Misty Knight, as I mentioned too earlier. It looks like it's using the slogan "Vampires in Brooklyn," which is a throwback to the Eddie Murphy film, which starred Angela Bassett. And it says here the return of Misty Knight, and they're in a flight and kiss pose. Very romantic there. Number 6 of this story. Love that cover there. And here's the Falcon again in a heroic pose or heroic stance on a rooftop. And featuring Blade, as I mentioned, book number 7, Vampires in Brooklyn. Very, very slick cover there. Love that. Now that actually makes his suit look a little better. The stance and pose that he's in, but I still was not the biggest fan of this particular suit. But again, the artwork and the colors are magnificent. And then here's the final book, which features Falcon, Misty Knight, and the Iron Patron all together, Vampires in Brooklyn. Falcon solo series number 8. And of course, there's a new series starting with the Falcon along with the Winter Soldier, which is a tentpole comic book series to the TV series, which will be starting in the fall on Disney+. So that's it. And we get back to book number 1 of this exciting story, The Falcon. Take Flight number 1. You can probably find this in trade paperback at marvel.com or go to your local comic book shop to see if they can order the trade paperback for you. I doubt that you'll, very seriously, if you'll find the single issues of the story. It was a short run, not very popular, but it was very good. So that's it. That's all, y'all. Hope you've enjoyed my comic book hauls for Black History Month, as well as some of my other comic book hauls that I've had for this month. I probably may not be doing a comic book haul this evening because, again, I'm getting ready to go out of town, and that's the C2E2, which, of course, is the Chicago Comic Con. So my next videos, and I will be having a lot of them, will be all over the course of this upcoming weekend. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, have a great day, great comic book day. Go to your local comic book shop and support them. They need as much support as they can get. Pick up some very good books that are coming out today. Some very good reads. If you cannot afford a $3.99 comic, keep in mind I mentioned before that there are dollar comics. They're old books, but they're still good books to pick up and read from both Marvel and DC. All right, that's it. That's all, y'all. Have a good day, afternoon, or evening, and whatever time and place it is in the world for you. Peace, love, and hair grease.